If you're a realtor and you're feeling stuck, lost, overwhelmed because there's just too many things to do and you don't know where to start, what to focus on, and ultimately just feeling overwhelmed, then this video is going to be absolutely life-changing for you. Productivity is one of the most important things you need to do as a realtor, is focusing on the right things, but many don't know what to focus on because everybody's telling you there's a million things to focus on. So what we're doing today is we're breaking down the perfect way to track your schedule, exactly how to fill your days, how to use the power list to break your weeks, break your goals down into a 12-week year instead of a 12-month year, and how people like myself and my business partner, Lewi, that I'm bringing on today, have completely changed the course of our business, skyrocketing our momentum solely by following these simple principles. And the coolest thing is that in this video, if you drop a comment below, Lewi is actually going to give you a free copy of his Trello board. Everything that we're walking through in this video, he will give you a free download so that you can do this for your own business. And before we introduce Lewi Gault, one of my business partners, I'll mention two quick things. Number one, I will link Lewi's incredible YouTube channel below, as well as his social profiles, because he puts out content on these subjects all the time, including CRM, time management, systems, processes, everything. And I'll link his calendar link below if you want to talk about partnering with him and his incredible group. So let's show you exactly, step by step, a full presentation of how to become hyper productive and how to take your business to a completely different level by focusing on the right things and not feeling overwhelmed and scatterbrained by chasing a million things. All right, guys, so now we've got Lewi on here. And again, I'm super excited to dive into this topic, one that has been able to truly help both of us skyrocket our businesses, become hyper productive, and completely change the trajectory of both what we are doing. So this is going to be a really cool presentation that breaks down exactly what a person in your situation would be looking to do in terms of skyrocketing your business, but not getting distracted by all of the things that we're told to do, and be able to focus on the things that you need to do in exact sequential order so that you can get to the point where you're smashing your goals every single year. So super excited to have my brother on here, Lewi Gault. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing? I got my purple lights in the background in your honor.
There we go. I'm
Oh yeah.
excited, man. Well, for anybody, we've done a couple collab videos before, and obviously some on your channel, which is incredible. And I'll link those below because I think those are super relevant and valuable for the people watching this. But for anybody that might not have seen those yet, do you want to just give yourself a quick introduction and then we can dive right in?
Yeah, sure. Lewi Gault here in Denver, Colorado. Moved here from Scotland like 15 years ago, I think. Yeah, part of the Wolfpack in the leadership group inside of the Wolfpack. I run the Wolfpack Elevation. And we're building things at scale. Like one of my passions is systems and processes. And it's not really because I'm a nerd. Some might say otherwise, but it's not because of that. It's because I'm a space cadet. I can't focus on things. I have a real lack of, just being able to hyper focus on one thing if I don't have it in front of me and like designed for me to go step by step. So because of that, I built out systems and processes for me. And then what I find is every time I do this, it's super relevant to all the agents in my group and the agents that I work with. So, it's a passion of mine now to build out things that are going to save agents time. It's going to save them money, going to save them, research and all these things that will help you become completely productive inside of what you want to do, rather than just kind of trying to shape yourself to the mold of the industry. So yeah, I love this stuff. Really excited to dig in.
Of course, man. And we hear this all the time from people is they, a lot of people are kind of embodying the opposite of the kind of notion that the man who chases two rabbits catches none. And you see these agents that aren't building any momentum at all, even though they know exactly what they need to do, but they come and they say they're overwhelmed, they're scatterbrained, they're chasing too many things and they don't know where to start, where to go, and what to actually focus on. So I know that we're going to dive into the exact tactical aspects of this. And again, guys, as I mentioned in the intro, you want to make sure you download that Trello board so you can follow along with us, because by the end of this video, you will see Lewi actually gives a complete design as to what you could be doing. So let's dive straight in, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I will say is make sure you watch this whole video before the Trello part. Don't just go there and download it because it won't make sense and you won't know what to do. I'm going to show you step by step how to easily reverse engineer goals into daily tasks that are actually going to help you achieve them, and not just dream them. Okay, so we're going to kind of dive through a lot. I'll try and go through it kind of as quick as I can, but if you want to pause it, take notes, move on to the next section, pause it, take notes, it's going to be kind of interactive like that. Okay, so a lot of this came from a few different people, a few different books. One of the big books was the 12-week year, which I know you've read, Mike. And really, what it talks about there is condensing into shorter term goals, because they're easier to hit. If you have long-term goals and dreams, they're awesome, but there's no way to get to them because in the here and now, in the present day, it seems so far off. January 1st, you're like, okay, I'm going to do 100K GCI. I've got 12 months to do it. It's okay if in my first 3 weeks I don't get anything done, but really that's not the case. So we really want to reverse engineer that to make it shorter goals so that we can actively achieve those long-term ones. So let's dig into this big thing here. We are not taught how to plan. And, real estate education, when we go through real estate school, everyone knows a lot of it just isn't super relevant to what we do day to day. And this is one of them: how to business plan and how to really plan for your business to excel and not become a statistic of a realtor who doesn't make it. So failing to plan is planning to fail. And then this is a big one for me. Your thoughts are always congruent with your underlying thinking. So the way that you're thinking towards things is the way that your brain is actually going to shift to process those things. So like I said, again, if you're thinking long term, if that's the underlying thinking, like in a year, I'm going to have this, a lot of the times you think in those yearly contexts. Like I said, in those first few weeks, it doesn't matter if today I can get this done today and tomorrow I'll pick it back up on the dream. That really happens, and you fall into those traps, into those paths that really stop you from growing. So we're going to dive into exactly what we're going to do. So here's what you want to do first. You want to establish your yearly goals. Now, I've just put in some generic ones here, and we'll kind of reverse engineer it and you can follow the process. So setting yearly goals is the first step. We're going to have to reverse engineer them. I like to do 4 goals. Some people do different. It's completely up to you. I think 4 is achievable. So in our 4 goals in this presentation, we're going to sell 10 homes. This maybe is like the first year of real estate. I want to sell 10 homes. I want to make $100,000 in gross commission income. I want to cap at my brokerage, and I want to take my family on a trip. Because here's the thing, with your goals in mind, make sure some of them are personal, family-based, whatever that is, because it's more of a tangible thing to latch your other goals onto. If it's all business all the time, you're going to burn out. So you have to have some things that are actually enjoyable, because we work to live, we don't live to work. Okay, so that's going to be my 4 goals. So what we're going to do now is break these all down, and you'll see with me, I like to break everything down pretty in detail here. So let's break down to sell 10 homes. What are the things that I'm going to have to do here? Okay, I'm going to have to learn lead generation. I'm going to have to learn marketing. I'm going to have to learn how to advertise. I'm going to learn how to farm, and I'm going to learn how to work on my sphere. That's the 5 things that I'm going to do to get these 10 homes sold. Okay. Number 2, 100K in GCI. What do I need to do? I need to know my average price point in the market. I need to find out how many homes it will take to make that 100K. I need to know how many leads it will take per contract. Now, that might be in year 2. If this is your first year, that's a kind of hard number to know, just if you don't know your success rate on the phone or whatever that looks like. And then one of the big things for me, we always talk about this, is who you surround yourself with. What do my team do? What is the average of the people I surround myself? What do they do? My coach, my mentor, my sponsor, whatever it looks like, the people in your real estate kind of bubble, what do they do? Because if they're not achieving what you want to achieve, you might want to be with other people. So something to look at. Number 3, capping. So, in our brokerage EXP 80-20 split, $16,000 cap. So how am I going to cap? How many deals is that going to take me to cap? Can I get referrals? Can I refer deals around the country and around the world and put that towards my cap? Where will the extra money go when I cap that extra 20%? What will I put that back into? Things to think about. And then family trip, I like to get specific with these. Where exactly do we want to go? Why do we want to even go there? When do we want to go? And what will this mean for our family to go there? And that's really the emotional piece that's going to tie these together. So look at these 4 goals here: family trip, cap, GCI. With those 3, They're tangible goals, but there's only one thing that's going to make the rest of them happen, and that's to sell 10 homes. So goal number 1 is actually going to have the domino effect for goal number 2, number 3, number 4. And you'll probably find that with yours as well, because in real estate, the way we make money is to sell homes if you're in production. So we have to figure out how to sell the 10 homes. So what I'm going to do now is that I've focused on this goal number 1 of selling homes, and I'm going to break down all these specifics. So we're going to break down lead generation, marketing, advertisement, farm, sphere. Okay, you see how we're kind of going from big to small and keep coming down like this? We're going to keep this going. So let's jump in. Lead generation. Okay, I'm going to pick a few things that I think that I want to learn and I want to do in this business. So for lead generation, I want to learn the skill of open houses, because I know a bunch of people who crush it with open houses. I want to work on my sphere of influence, because that's one of the most important parts to growing my real estate business. I want to focus on Facebook ads and Make It Rain, which is a Google ads platform. I want to generate leads through that. And then I want to learn how to door knock and figure out how to do that successfully, the schedules and stuff like that it takes, okay? So that's lead generation. All right, that's 4 things there. I've got kind of skills that I want to learn, things that I think I can put into action, okay? Let's move on. So then we've got marketing. So 4 things I might want to focus on are social media strategies, building up a local YouTube channel, mailers, and networking events. Okay, great. Let's move on to advertisement. So advertise, I want to do Facebook ads, Google ads, maybe flyers and mailers around the community, and maybe I take out ads in local magazines and papers, depending on, you know, what your demographic, what your neighborhood looks like. Farming, if you're going to go into a farm, I like to farm the neighborhoods that I live in. I always tell agents that's typically your best bet. So market updates for your neighborhood, door knocking, going around, meeting everyone, sponsorships, you know, sponsor schools, sponsor nonprofits, any events that are going on inside of the neighborhood, and then business to business strategies. You might form relationships with, you know, different restaurants or whatever you can do to help advertise each other. And then last one, sphere, big one for me, Facebook Live, market updates. I do this every single week. Weekly newsletter, I put out an email to my sphere. Happy hours, you can host them, you know, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever that might look like for you. And then again, social media strategies, and you'll start to see a lot of these overlay with each other. Now, again, these are just generic terms. You can put your own things in that you want to dive into here, but I'm just showing you how to reverse engineer that down. So we've gone through these four things now, and we've built out all our pillars that we want to do inside of those spheres. So we need to start funneling down. And this is where the 12-hour week stuff really comes in, because if you look at all these things, let's see what we got. We got open houses, Facebook ads, door knocking, social media strategies, YouTube channel, mailers, networking events, local magazine ads, market updates, door knocking, sponsorships, business to business strategies, Facebook Live, weekly newsletter, happy hour. That's 15 things. So if you were just doing a traditional business plan and you just put all this down, you're like, okay, I have 15 things I need to do. It's impossible. You cannot achieve all of this at once. You could start all of this, but it's going to be trash. You're not going to be able to competently do this to an extent where you're going to outdo all of your competition and be the agent that you actually want to be. Okay. This is great to have all these things, and we're going to chip away at this throughout the year, but just know that a lot of people look at this and get overwhelmed because there's so much to do, right? But the key to this is to take bite-sized chunks out of this and work it through the year. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take your list of all the things that you want to do, and we're going to take our top 4. I want you to break this into 4 things, no more, no less. 4 things that we're going to focus on, okay? So I've picked out from these ones, open houses, social media strategies, market updates, and door knocking. That's the 4 that we're going to focus on. But now we need to break these down. So what does that actually going to look like for this quarter? So open houses, here's what I want to do. I want to host 2 open houses every weekend. I'll research and develop a system to maximize my time and effort to obtain leads and new clients at every single open house I hold, okay? That's what I want to do this quarter. I want to learn how to do open houses. I'm going to find the people who do it the best. I'm going to copy what they do and put it into my business, okay? So that is my goal for this quarter. I'm going to learn how to do that. 2, social media strategies. I'm going to research and develop a social media strategy that I can effectively manage and use to gain trust from my audience and organically convert into clients. So I don't have to tell you about social media strategies. You're on Mike's channel. You know what to do here. I'm going to watch a bunch of Mike's videos. I'm going to learn how to effectively use social media. I might jump into the Social Agent Academy and get all that going. Okay, number 3, market updates. This is huge for my agents. I'm going to spend time studying the market so I can provide the maximum amount of data and break it down into layman terms for my audience. I will send a weekly newsletter to go live on Facebook every Thursday. Okay, I'm getting a little, ahead of myself there. And then door knocking, number 4, I'm going to door knock 3 days a week for 6 hours. I've never done that. I know Mike has. I've never done this, but I know a ton of people who do this really well. I will have my market update with me for a conversation starter, and I will study and develop a script that converts at a higher rate than my competitors. So look what we just did. We went from a yearly goal. We broke it down into sections. We broke it down into all this things and strategies that we want to achieve. And now we've only broken it down into 4 things. I only have to focus on 4 things now. That's it. Everything else that was on that list is I've got the blinders on. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not looking at it. I'm not touching it. These are the 4 things that by the end of this quarter, by the end of this 12 weeks, I'm going to have up and running. I don't have to master it. I don't have to make it perfect. I don't have to, have everything down to a fine art, but I have to have them up and running, and I have to be implementing what I'm saying I'm going to do. Okay. So we have our top 4 specifics. And now I'm going to show you guys how to actually go about breaking down your day and your week to start achieving these strategies, okay? All right, guys. So now we are inside of Trello. Trello is an amazing tool that I use for a ton of different stuff. I have a lot of different templates built out that some are exclusive for my team. Some I actually sell for realtors. But I'm going to give you guys this template here just because I love Mike so much. And a lot of you guys subscribe to my channel with the last videos that Mike and I done. I really appreciate it. So this is going to be a free download here, and you can get that. But I just want to show you what's happening here. So I'm going to jump into a blank template of this and we'll go through it together, but this is kind of what it looks like. So these are like my 4 goals for next quarter here. I have tasks that I have to do every week. I'm going to get back to this Domino here, but then we have just the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm going to put tasks in and I'm going to finish them up. Okay. Now this is derived from the Power List, which is from Andy Frisella, one of Mike and I's mentors. You might have heard of the Power List before. A really, really powerful tool that, especially for someone like me and a lot of real estate agents, we're overthinking, we're trying to do too much. But if you just have one list for the day where you just score it off, and then you're good to go, it changes your whole perception of what your day looks like. All right, so this is the template that you guys are actually going to get here. So we're going to work through this together. I'm just going to show you how we would take those 4 things and break them into our week and our day and really effectively work, okay? So we're going to start over here on the left-hand side with our goals. And, if you have your goals, you can do them real time with us. I'm going to put in the ones that we were talking about. So our Q4 goals, remember, the first one was going to be open houses. The next one was going to be social media strategies. The next one was market updates. And the next one was door knocking. Oops, that's not how you spell door. Door knocking. So we have these 4 goals for our quarter. By the end of the quarter, we want to have all these up and running. Now that they're here, I can put tasks into my week that I can start to implement moving towards these goals, okay? I want every single week to move towards these goals at a rate that I would never have been able to do if I wasn't focused on this, okay? So we're going to do 5 tasks for each day, all right? That's what the Power List looks like with Andy Frisella. It's 5 tasks. If you want to do 4, if you want to do whatever it looks like for you is fine. I typically focus on 5. I know Mike does too. So 5 tasks every day that I need to hit no matter what, okay? Now, before you start putting these together, you got to remember you're also a realtor, right? You're also a real estate agent. You've got other stuff to do, okay? So don't forget about that. So I'm going to give you a kind of, I guess a day in the life of a realtor, a couple of things you need to do. So I'm just going to move over here on, so it's Sunday at the start of the week. I know I need to show homes to Jim. Okay. I know I need to set up a search for Casey. I know I need to go to the team meeting on Wednesday. And you can kind of add these on and on and on and on. Now, inside of this template, I've put in labels for you so you can make this a lot easier. So if I click in here and I go to edit labels, you can see down here that I've color coded these. It makes it a lot easier for you to do. So show homes to Jim, that's going to be inside of sales. Okay, great. Save that. Set up search for Casey. Again, that's sales. Boom. Team meeting. I'm going to change the label on this one and move it to team. Just gives you a little bit of a visual aspect to how your week is looking. Is it really focused on sales or is it really focused on other stuff? So I'm going to show Jim some homes on Monday. I know that because it's in my calendar already. I need to set up a search for Casey. So I may as well do that on Monday too and make sure it's done so I can just kind of get on with my week. My team meeting is on Wednesday. So I'm starting to build out the week a little bit here as I go. I don't really recommend building out the entire week straight away, but it's nice to have things that if they're in your calendar, put them in here so that you have them on your task and you don't overdo this. Okay, so now let's start looking at tasks that we can do to start putting these goals together. So open houses. I'm going to watch some videos by Joshua Smith. Joshua Smith has insane open house strategies. It's bonkers. So I'm going to start watching some of his videos on how he does that because that's, you know, how I'm going to learn how to do this. Okay, what's something I could do for social media strategies? Okay, I'm going to sign up for the Social Agent Academy. Shameless plug for Mike there, but or watch Mike's videos, whatever. But I'm going to sign up for the Social Agent Academy. Market updates. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours diving into the MLS and showing time. We have showing time here to look at data. I also want to watch videos from lenders who send market updates. Okay. And I honestly, I break it down as simple as possible. This is the simple stuff I want to do. Don't get ahead of yourself here. And then door knocking, what we're going to do. I want to have a conversational piece when I go into door knocking. I don't want to door knock and have anything empty-handed. If I have a market update there, I can be like, hey, I'm just going around the neighborhood. I've got market update. I'd love to share with you. Go from there. So I want to print off market updates. Okay, so I've got a few things that I can work on here. Okay, so I'm out showing on Monday. I'm doing a couple of things. I'm out and about, so I don't really have a lot of time to sit down and watch videos. So I'm probably going to move this to Tuesday. Tuesday, I'll jump in to start watching that. Signing up for Social Agent Academy, I can do that on. You know what? I'll do that on Tuesday too because I'm going to be in front of my computer. A couple of hours diving into the MLS. You know what? I'll do that on Monday because when I'm showing, after I've done that, I can stop in a coffee shop, jump in, start doing things. Watch videos from lenders. Again, I'll probably just make that Tuesday as well. I'm in front of the computer. I may as well just keep on doing that if I'm in the one place. And then market updates, I'm probably going to focus that towards the end of the week because I want the data from the weekend to come out first, and then I can print off the market updates for what's going on. So let's move that over to Thursday. You can see how this week is starting to get built out. This is great. There's one thing we haven't touched on yet, though. This is the domino. Okay, now the domino for me is something that is related to one of these 4 goals that I have to achieve this week. Okay, but it's a bigger thing. I can't just sit down and bust it out in one shot. It's going to take a few different things to do it, and I'm going to break this down into 4 tasks. Okay, so again, let's look at let's look at open houses. Okay, so I'm going to make a domino door, and what I'm going to call it is breakdown. I'm going to call it open house system. I think I can spell that properly. System. Yep. Okay. So open house system, that is going to be my door for the week. I want 4 tasks on this, no more, no less, that I can do to make sure by the end of this week, I'm starting to build out my open house system. So what are they going to be? Okay, open house system. I'm going to get open house signs. I need those to do my open house. I'm going to color code this here as Domino here. Oops, sorry, red one. Excuse me, Domino. Boom. Okay, so open house signs. I'm going to need that for an open house. I'm going to need in sign-in branded sign-in sheets. Need that. I'm just going to color code that. Domino, perfect. Okay, that's 2 things that I can start working on. I need 2 more. I'm going to research how effectively the agents in my office run open houses. So I'm going to reach out to the top agents in my office or my team or wherever, people I know who are doing open houses. I'm going to research how to effectively, you can see my spelling's trash, effectively market an open house. So I'm going to research that from the people I know who are killing it. And then last one here, let's see, one more thing for an open house. Mike, what would you need to do for an open house?
For an open house, I typically like to, you have the branded sign-in sheets, but also you might want to print off like the brochures for the open house.
Perfect. Branded brochures. Okay, so look at what we've just done here. We've taken a big piece of the open house problem here, and we're going to start working on it immediately. It's building out the system, because once we have a system, we just use it over and over and over and over again. You know, so this is going to be a huge one. Now, we've got 4 tasks from the domino. And I call it a domino because if you hit this domino, it's going to hit the next one and next one and next one. And all of a sudden your business is going to be propelling down the line because you're hitting all these tasks that just push you towards your goals. So we got 4 tasks here. I like to get the domino done before Wednesday. Okay. I like to do that because Thursday, Friday, you start booking showings, you start doing a bunch of other stuff, getting invited to lunches and different things like that. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I like focusing on these things. So Monday, let's see, I'm going to research how to do that. I've got 1 more slot on Monday, so I'm going to go ahead and order open house signs. Okay, so now my Monday is full. I've got 5 things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to show homes to Jim. I'm going to set up a search for Casey. It should take no time at all, but it's important. I'm going to spend some time digging into the MLS. I'm going to research how to do an open house, and I'm going to order open house signs. Okay, so pretty busy day, but it's only 5 tasks. You can do 5 tasks. Okay, branded sign-in sheets, branded brochures. Once you brand one thing, you can brand things pretty easily. So I'm going to put them in the same day. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit them on Tuesday. So now Tuesday, I've got 5 things to do. I'm going to watch these videos by Josh Smith. I'm going to watch videos from lenders. I'm going to sign up for the Agent Academy, which doesn't take long, but is important. And then I'm going to work on the branding for these things. So now you can start to see how this system works. It's super, super effective because my days are now structured. I'm not going to think about anything else. Of course, as realtors, we get phone calls, we get emails that we have to respond to. But these are the 5 things that I am not going to stop until these 5 things are done. And like Andy says, you might get these done by 11 a.m. You might get it done by 6 p.m. It doesn't matter when, but you have to get them done. Okay. So you can see how powerful this starts to be. And I'm going to win the week by doing these things. So, you know, with this template, you can move things around. You can do different things. So once I've, you know, been out showing to Jim, I'll just drop this down into underneath completed. So I know it's done. And I can just work through my whole day until everything is completely done. And then boom, I've won Monday. Monday was easy. I've broken things down. I haven't had to dream big. I've just done focused work on the tasks I need to do to hit my 4 goals for the quarter, which are going to drive me towards my yearly goals. And that's how simple it is, guys. I know this is quite a lot to go through, but once you get the system in place, it's super, super simple. You're reverse engineering everything, and then you just get to work and do the work for the day. With this, once you've done things for the week, typically after the week's done, I'll just move things over to the completed card. It's kind of nice because as time goes, this starts to grow down and down and down, and you can be like, oh man, look at all this work I've done, and it really gets you going for the next week you're jumping in. So that's the system that I use and I give to all my agents to use as well, because it's super effective. And for me, who I'm a big picture guy, I'm a dreamer, I can't focus on things. If I have that in front of me, like these are my 5 tasks, and I know these 5 tasks are going to work me towards my goals, it's a done deal. And there's absolutely no way that you can lose if you work this system properly.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's absolutely incredible. And again, just to show people, like, I practice what Lewi preaches. You can see my power list here for each day, 5 tasks. And it's wild to see what happens when you stay on track, because that's one of the biggest feedbacks that I get from people. I had a call last night with somebody from from a different group where they're like, hey, Mike, like I'm chasing so many different things. I've got this, and this on the go. And I'm like, well, you got to settle down. Like, you need to start focusing, because, when you're trying to chase all these things, you're going to get scatterbrained. You're going to get distracted. You're not going to be productive. You're going to get overwhelmed. And it's very important to be able to break down, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to get those tasks done by the end of the year, no matter what. So breaking it down into the bite-sized chunks is going to at least allow you to inch towards it, because people are trying to take everything on at once. And it's just impossible with the 24 hours in a day, plus family, plus everything else that we have, to actually consume what we need to get done in order to make it happen. So I swear by this power list. I swear by the 12-week year, because it's even an emotional thing or a mental thing, where every single January people come fired up with ready to take on the year, ready to change their life. And then, end of March comes and they realize, well, that wasn't a very good start. And then, August comes and they're like, well, damn, I'm not even close to halfway to hitting my goals. And then the fall comes and it's kind of like, well, now I'm really screwed. I might as well wait till next year. But if you can have that same excitement, that January 1st excitement, 4 times a year instead of once a year, you reset, you regroup. You're like, all right, first quarter was trash. Let's buckle down, regroup, restructure, and go. And there's many times where you can turn an entire year around halfway through the year because of following this 12-week year, instead of having to just say annual goals. If I'm not going to hit it, there's always next year.
Yeah. And what's crazy about it as well is that because you're so focused and you're working on these daily and weekly tasks, you find more time in your day, which is the craziest thing. You're more productive, but you've got more time. And something like that for me, I've got kids, I've got family, we do a lot of things. It's insane how productive I can be, but also have hours to spend with my kids. I take my kids to school every day. I do different things with them, because I know the 5 things I'm doing. I know how to get them done, and it's done. And once they're done, I'm good to go. I can chill with my kids and do whatever. So it's really, really interesting how focused time buys you more time in the future. So, a lot of us, and this is like going back to the start, if you're focused on a yearly goal and you're just getting lost in the woods, you can work 16 hours a day and get nothing done. And we see it all the time with agents that Mike and I speak to. Same thing. I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know how to start. I don't know where to go. Break it all down and just focus on a few things, and you'll hit those tasks. You'll be done for the day. You'll feel good about your work, and you can transition to your personal life, family life, whatever that is. Next day, come back, do the same thing. And then you'll notice one thing on this, guys. I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't do anything for Saturday, Sunday. Obviously real estate, we might have showings, we might have different things, but I am not setting my power list for Saturdays, Sundays. Some people do, that's fine. I don't. I have a family. That is why I do the things I do. So my time is best spent with them. So I don't put a power list for me for Saturday and Sunday. And that's just the way I work. So I know Monday through Friday, I'm on and I'm working and I'm getting this stuff done, so that Saturday, Sunday, I feel good. I don't feel stressed. I don't feel overwhelmed about the things I'm having to do. And then I can jump right back into next week.
Definitely. And we'll wrap it up with, kind of conceptual understanding why this is so powerful, because, 2 kind of key concepts here is that, when you look at why the 12-week year exists, and again, we'll make sure to link the book below. It's because with a year, the distance is so far that it's really hard to actually tangibly track if you're on track or not. Whereas 3 months is a long enough period of time to get dominoes done, to get actual like needle moving big activities done that you'll notice a difference in your business, but it's short enough to track. And then also, as Louis kind of alluding to, it's about focus time, because it goes back to the concept of, what you see in like university or high school or whatever. If you're given 3 hours to do a test, well, you're probably going to take 3 hours. If you're given 2 hours to do that same test, you're going to get it done in 2 hours. And this is the same thing we see in real estate, is that people say, I'm going to work 12 hours a day. Well, they could probably get that day done in 6 hours, but because they mentally convince themselves they're working for 12 hours, they scroll on social media, they take random breaks, they're watching nonsense, and they fill their 12 hours, but they didn't need to. But it makes them feel like they're busy, but they're not being productive. So I absolutely love this, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have questions, guys, just reach out. I'm always happy to talk about this stuff. I know we kind of flew through it today, but super, super powerful. But if you have questions on it, just reach out. I'm always happy to help anyone.
Definitely, guys. Well, again, thank you so much. Again, drop a comment below and you'll be able to get that incredible free guide that you see here with the Trello board, which is going to be a massive and life-changing resource for your business. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.